Remember watching Jimmy Neutron as a kid? Because if you do, there's probably a specific scene cemented into your brain against your will. The brain blast scene. Remember that moment where the answer just appears? No effort, just pure genius. And for me, that was the goal. I wanted to be a genius so badly as a child. But fast forward 15 years, and the only thing I'm blasting is my dopamine receptors with doom scrolling. You get what I'm saying? What about you? You were the kid who didn't study but set the curve. The one the teacher pointed to and said, "Why can't you be more like him? Are you jealous of me because you should be?" Or you were. Because now you're 20-something, staring at a ceiling fan, wondering why you feel completely directionless while the average kids from high school are suddenly running businesses and buying houses. Today, we're talking about why the gifted kid trap isn't just an internet meme, it's a psychological trap. We're going to look at why being told you're special creates a brain wired for burnout. And more importantly, now what? So just for context, the gifted kid trap is basically this. You are praised for being smart, not for trying. So now effort feels like a threat instead of a normal part of life. So here's the thing. When you spend your formative years being praised for your intelligence rather than your effort, you develop what psychologists call a fixed mindset. It sounds boring, I know, but stick with me. When you're 6 and you read at a 12th grade level, everyone says, "Wow, you're so smart." They don't say, "Wow, you worked hard." So your brain makes a dangerous connection. Success equals natural talent. Therefore, if I have to try hard, it means I'm not smart anymore. Psychologists call this effort threat. To a former gifted kid, effort isn't a path to mastery. It's evidence of failure. You get what I'm saying? If I have to study for this test, I'm already losing. If I have to practice guitar for 6 months to sound good, I'm clearly not a musical genius, so why bother? So, we coast. We coast through middle school, we coast through high school, maybe even college. And then, inevitably, we hit a wall where raw intelligence isn't enough. And because we never learned how to climb a wall, because we just flew over them like Peter Pan, we crash. That's a shock, and it's traumatizing. Or what about this? Do you have a graveyard of hobbies you started, bought all the expensive gear for, did for 3 days, and then abandoned? I know what you're thinking. I'm just lazy. No, that's poppycock. You aren't lazy, you have the taste gap. Because you're smart, your taste, your ability to identify what is good is miles ahead of your actual skill. You know what a good novel looks like. But when you write, it looks like trash. And because you built your entire identity on being the best immediately, being a beginner feels like dying. Do you know how it feels to be bad at something? For us, it feels like an identity crisis. So, we procrastinate. Not because we don't want to work, but because perfectionism is just fear in a fancy suit. We'd rather not do the thing at all than do it and prove we aren't special. It's safer to be the guy with potential than the guy who tried and was just, okay. So, now what? Are we doomed to be burnt-out baristas explaining to customers that we could have been neurosurgeons if we applied ourselves? Let's imagine a world where you aren't special. I know, it hurts. But stay with me. The only way out of this trap is to divorce your self-worth from your output. You have to give yourself permission to be a loser. You have to be willing to be the dumbest person in the room again. You have to be willing to write a terrible first draft. You have to replace "I am smart" with "I am a person who is learning." It's about shifting from a performance goal, also known as looking smart, to a learning goal, also known as getting better. When you stop trying to protect the label of gifted, you suddenly get to actually do stuff again. You get to suck at painting. You get to be mediocre at coding. And ironically, that's the only way you actually become exceptional. Do you really expect to speedrun adulthood without grinding for XP? That's not how the game works. You gotta kill the bears in the forest before you fight the dragon. To put it eloquently, your potential doesn't pay rent. Your gift isn't a promise of future success. It was just a head start in a race that is much, much longer than you thought. So, what have we learned tonight? Well, I think the lesson is that being smart is for losers, and ignorance is bliss. Good night, America. No, that's not the moral. Nah, get out of here. The moral is, go do something you're bad at and enjoy being bad at it. If this video made you feel attacked, hit that like button so the algorithm knows to attack other people too. Subscribe if you want to fix your brain, or at least understand why it's broken. Now, go do your homework.